Hey, hold the line! Hold the line! The Russians are coming! Hold the line! Slow motion included! Yeah, this game's pretty awesome, honestly. I have no idea what that guy's doing, though. Shell-shocked, I suppose. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Rising Front. Rising Front is currently a game developed by one man and one man alone, and the idea behind it is to bring a sort of gritty and serious style into a formula of games similar to something like a Totally Accurate Battle Simulator or that sort of genre, right? Where the gist of the gameplay is you would put soldiers on one side and on the other and have them battle each other, but here it isn't done with mythical units or silly animations. Here it's actually trying to be a serious World War I simulator. Well, maybe not simulator is maybe too strong of a word, but it is trying for a more gritty, realistic, and sensible approach, with units having proper animations, taking cover, firing from concealed positions, using machine guns, artillery, etc., etc., and not just, you know, flinging swords at each other in hilarious manners like they're ragdolls and without any regard for their own personal safety whatsoever. And the game is doing an amazing job of it. Now, you can check out the Discord and the roadmap, and I will leave a link to the roadmap, which does open a Trello, I think, account or a Trello link if you click this. It basically tells you what's coming soon. We're going to have planes, tanks, gas, flamethrowers, workshop support, improved command map, etc., etc. That's for the near future, and then later down the line probably new things, depending on how much support the game gets, but that's all for the future. For now, let's actually take a look at what the game has to offer, and what it does have to offer are three different things: sandbox, scenario creator, and specific scenarios for you to play out. Now, I like these specific scenarios. They showcase what the game can do. This one is the one I've made. It's called Ain't War Hell. And I like it. I really do. I've had a lot of fun with it, but what I'm going to do with you instead, or for you rather, in this video, is I'm going to go over to Sandbox. I'm going to select... I really like the small trench map because, well, I mean, trench battle, right? Yeah, fine, let's do that. I really like this. So let's start this. You'll see why I like the map in a second. But first of all, if I'm able to go over to the control panel, I would like to set it so that it's daytime and that it's snowing. It'll take some time for the snow to start falling. There we go. Alright, command map, and here we go. The battle starts with an artillery explosion over here for some reason, and with German troops deploying to positions over there. Now, I'm going to redirect these German forces to the trenches over here. And since the Germans are apparently taking care of themselves, I'm going to go over into the greens, and I'm going to start with some Russian rifle platoons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, let's say. And I'm going to deploy all of them like so. And there's one more somewhere in here, which is supposed to be deployed like that. There we go. Alright, so that's going to be my front line. Now, these Germans are maneuvering up and down the front line for some reason, but that's fine. They're rotating, I suppose. And I'm also going to put down, let's say, 3 or so more, or, no, the AI has it. I suppose I could disable the green and the red AI so it doesn't start spawning troops on its own, which would be fun, but let's also plop down, let's say, 3 artillery strikes like that. Okay, and now let's deploy and see what glorious mayhem we've created. So I'm a German in this scenario, and this is what I'm spawning into. Ain't war hell. Now, the artillery doesn't seem to be that powerful. As you can see, there's a bunch of explosions going off, but it's really not doing a lot of damage to the infantry that are trying to hold the line here. And trying to hold the line they are. There is a horde of, I suppose these would still be Tsarist Russian infantry platoons trying to attack our trenches, and we all attempt to hold them as desperately as we can. There is also a build menu, which I shall take full advantage of, and deploy a machine gun in this trench over here. Now that's going to take a minute. Okay, and then we hit enter to leave the build menu, and we can actually grab the machine gun and start shooting. Glorious. As far as I'm able to tell, the machine gun has an infinite amount of ammunition, and troops in the vicinity will just walk up to it, and oh, we got Russians in the trenches! Troops in the vicinity will walk up to the machine gun, as you can see, and use it. The machine gun isn't particularly well animated in that it sort of gains sentience when there's a troop next to it. It isn't really being properly handled, if that makes sense. And I'm pretty sure that bunker is broken. But we can go over to here and start redeploying some more Russian troops to the front line, having them charge those positions. Okay, let's go over into spectate and see how it's going. Look at that. There's a whole horde of them, let's say. And as you can see, the AI is not actually just charging in all brainless-like, which is perhaps not very realistic for World War I. I'm kidding, of course. They will take cover, as you can see. So their orders currently for this particular squad, I think I can zoom in on one of these and then click 3 times or something to spawn near him. Can't seem to get that to work. But anyways, as you can see, I think he just, I don't know if that was a grenade or, yeah, I think that was just a grenade that someone threw. So they are throwing grenades, they are taking cover, as you can see. They can understand that there is a dip in the terrain here, and this is where they will crouch. That guy is bandaging himself up, as you can see, so this is, like, the AI is actually smart. The one thing I've seen them do quite a bit is take cover down here for extended periods of time. As you can see, most of the time it's in order to heal, but sometimes I will see forces in the back over here, for example, just lying down and not doing much. Which isn't ideal, but it's a small nitpick, right? As you can see, most of the time, especially when there's enemies nearby, they will fight each other. And they will just go into cover to heal themselves and pop back out to, you know, fight properly and then go back in for healing and etc, etc. There is no melee, or, well, technically there is melee, as there are melee weapons, but the AI doesn't seem to use them, and honestly I don't blame the AI. Ranged weapons are just better in every way, shape, and form, 9 times out of 10, but sometimes in these really tight scenarios like this, you might be better off grabbing a knife and start stabbing, and you know, you can start stabbing. But yeah, look at this glorious mess that I've created here. We have actually Russians in the trenches right now, and we have a whole platoon of Russians here. Now, the thing is, they have carried out their orders. I told them to go kind of in front of these trenches, and that's exactly what they've done. So I do need to order them to continue the charge, as it were. And now they will continue, and they have overwhelmed the German trenches with their sheer numbers. Just a few guys still holding on over here. Now, as far as the game is concerned, this is pretty much it. There are different maps, there are different scenarios. This is actually the simplest of the maps. There's layered defenses and so on and so forth, so there's a lot for you to play around with. But the gist of the game is this. You spawn troops on one side, spawn troops on the other, or let the AI spawn troops on one side and you spawn troops on the other, and then that's it. And take a look at the command the map thing. I believe that soon we shall have Russian forces in the Red HQ, which for some reason is showing as the Russian Imperial banner and not... Yeah, I guess they're both showing as the Russian banner. It could be because the Germans are gone. That could be it, but how about we go over to the command map and we click on the Reds and we say, you know what? The Reds have ordered a massive artillery bombardment along this line, and they have now deployed... Where are they? German Sturmtrooper platoons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Stormtrooper platoons have just spawned out of nowhere. They've been waiting and hiding. As you can see, a lot of these guys have machine guns, so also a lot of them are dead because they spawned in front of a whole bunch of enemies, but there you go. Something like this, for example. And we can see how effective Stormtroopers are at, well, storming enemy trenches. There are a lot of enemies, though. I don't think they're going to be able to just willy-nilly this. Let's deploy and actually try and help these guys out a little bit. I just got hit by something twice. I'm going to need to go down and... heal up. Get some of these grenades out there. Don't know if I've hit anything or not, but I'm going to assume yes. And you can actually go over into your loadout and select what you want personally for yourself. So let's say I'm going to go with an MP18 and a trench shotgun. There is obviously going to be a limit to the amount of stuff you can carry. I'm going to hope that this MP is using pistol ammo, not rifle ammo, because it wouldn't make much sense otherwise. And I'm going to go and get myself killed so I can deploy again. I could just deploy again without getting killed, but you know. Alright, and deploy again. It does deploy you facing away from the battlefield currently, which is a little bit weird, but... here we are nonetheless, and there you go. It's difficult to storm those positions when they are using trenches and cover against us now, so it will be an uphill battle from here, but you get the general idea of the problem and the game and the situation we're in, right? So there you go. This is Rising Front, and honestly, I love it. I'm going to go ahead and quit over to the main menu, and I'm going to start with... let's go into a scenario, and let's go into... Hilltop Bridge Defense. Let's go into Bridge Defense, for example. Okay, here we go. Disable friendly AI command and start scenario. Command map. There's the enemy. We are the Germans in this one. And the AI seems to have not listened to me and has decided to just sort of willy-nilly deploy its own troops however it sees fit. That's somewhat interesting, but okay. Well, that's fine. Let's deploy ourselves with this German company and see what's up over here. So as you can see, this is the sort of alternative, I guess, the other game mode available, is you can just load up a scenario on your own, and you can command just one side of the fighting, which is, like I said, perfectly valid and fine. I'm going to deploy another unit of infantry. I'm going to put them over there, and honestly, for now, I'm just going to hold the front line, because I don't know how much the enemy has in terms of weaponry and whatnot, but we do have very good defensive positions here. Holy moly, I'm not gonna lie, this is this is pretty gosh darn fun. Alright. Well, the machine guns, I'm sure, are making a big difference. As you can see, it's we're no longer using the machine gun. I think that needs to change. Hello. Can we start? Can we continue firing the machine gun, please? They're yeah, machine gun seems a little bit broken currently. I shall endeavour to fix it by firing it personally. Now, the AI does tend to do this. It does tend to jump onto the machine gun and attempt to sort of use it for you. Not quite sure why, but something that maybe should be looked into for the relatively near future. But, you know, it is what it is for now, I suppose. I think the troops can't get in here. They're having, or at least they might be having some trouble entering this area. Okay, let's take a look at the command map once again. We have well, we have more troops that we've been requisitioned. We also have some artillery. Build menu. Yeah, I mean, I suppose I could get like a MG nest, or is that not allowed for me to? I guess not. Okay. I think I have money. It's just that. Oh well. I believe this is an artillery strike against me. But tell you what, that's fine, because I can do artillery strikes against their units as well, and they're not gonna like these artillery strikes. Mind you, I don't like artillery strikes on top of my head either, but oh, look at that. Yeah, it looks like they've gathered men for an offensive. I do think I've killed more than I've thrown into the fight, as it were. As far as I can tell, the AI doesn't have a limited amount of ammo, unlike the player. Which, honestly, I think is a good thing, because managing a supply system in a game like this, in this stage, would be a little bit excessive. For the future, why not? Maybe you'd need to bring in supply troops that would resupply ammunition, and at the same time, throwables, bandages, and stuff like that. So, if you have good logistics, it would pay. I like that idea. I don't think that's bad at all. I think that's great for the future, but right now, the way the game is in its current stage, I think, you know, I think we're good. Also, considering the scale of the engagement, the size of the maps and everything, I think the accuracy of the AI is perfect. I mean, imagine if the AI at this distance had the same accuracy as a human player, you wouldn't be able to peek your head. And it wouldn't make for a very entertaining game, plus everything would disintegrate instantly. But with a damage and accuracy system adjusted, with the damage and accuracy system adjusted the way it is, that means that you do get these cool, interesting engagements like this, and well, I like that quite a bit. And there is also a slow-mo button, which is obviously very much appreciated. Fortunately, we did lose a fair number of men here, probably to those artillery strikes. And speaking of artillery strikes, there's another one coming in. Oh dear Lord in heaven. There is another artillery strike. There's 2 more artillery strikes coming down right on top of us. But our troops do seem fine, and the artillery strikes seem a little bit, well, for lack of a better word, useless. Oh, no, never mind, there they are. They did kill a couple of guys right in front of me there, so I guess that's what I deserve for calling the enemy artillery useless. But at least compared to the $50 cost for a platoon of riflemen, I think the artillery strike is somewhat overrated. But there you go. This is the game so far. Honestly, I see great potential and great fun. Sorry about that. In a title like this. Obviously, I mean, like I said, it's still in early development, not representative of the final product, etc., etc., all the usual disclaimers go, but at the same time, I feel like a game like this can be incredibly fun if you are sort of in this kind of mindset. If you like playing, for example, when you were younger with toy soldiers, and you like lining them up and imagining these grandiose battles with artillery and air support and tanks and whatever, well, you get to kind of do that and tap sort of into your childhood a little bit with a game like this, and honestly, I think it's awesome. I've always been a sucker for games like this, knowing full well, though, that they don't have a lot of audience. They don't come with a lot of audience, let's say, because well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they do. Stuff like Men of War and Call to Arms have a following, more or less for these reasons, for the fact that you can play around in scenarios like these and set up your own campaigns and stuff. But a lot of the time, that's not their main appeal, and that's not the main reason people like those games. For me, it has always been sort of stuff like this, right? In Call to Arms and Men of War and everything, I love putting AI against each other and creating my own sort of scenarios, ambushes and stuff, and playing them out. I think that was always a load of fun for me, and it continues to be in titles like this, and I'm glad that someone is willing to make games like this, even though they, well, let's just say, aren't the most popular. Anywho, that's it for me for this video and for this video game as a whole. I will leave links to it down in the description below if you want to check it out. It is available on Steam. I think it's awesome, honestly. I really, really do. Welcome to disagree with me, of course. But for me, this is truly a spectacular game, well worth our attention, and yeah, I'm just going to put down 2 more rifle platoons there and there to replace the guys that are currently charging, and we can take a look at our suicidal attempt to push the front line forward as, well, in true World War I fashion, yeah? To be completely honest with you, I cannot wait for mustard gas and flamethrowers and tanks and aircraft and all sorts of stuff like that to be added to this game. I think it'll be a load of fun, but at the same time, I do believe that a quality over quantity approach will benefit this game more so than anything else. I would have loved to see the AI get a little bit more fleshed out. The machine guns, for example, we get a little bit fleshed out, and then after that we can talk about, you know, new toys to play around with, let's say. Alright, that's been me for this video. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Rather brief, I think, introduction into the game, but it is fairly simple, and there's not much to show currently, though what little there is, at at least for me, is incredibly fun. So, that's it for now. Have fun, take care, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Do you want to know how these grenades do, though? Yeah, grenades haven't done much, if I'm to be brutally honest here. Yeah, as it turns out, charging across wasn't the finest idea, obviously, but, you know, that's alright, I suppose. Okay, I will see you all next time. Have fun, take care, and bye-bye.